Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy and we get to hear from Lorenzo today in Act 3, Scene 2. Lorenzo is one of the ones who is responsible for Horatio's death. Remember, they hung him from a tree and stabbed him. And then they also sort of kind of kidnapped Bella Imperia, and she's being held somewhere. But she did manage to scribble a little note in her own blood, and I guess threw it out the window or something like that, hoping that Hieronymo would find it, which magically he did as he was sort of walking around and consumed by his own grief and consumed by his own need to get revenge on whoever it is that killed his son. He finds this note that Bella Imperia had written saying that it was Balthazar and Lorenzo that killed Horatio. And at first Hieronymo thought that this was setting him up, because if he then goes to accuse Lorenzo, then Lorenzo can say that Hieronymo is crazy and have him executed and whatever. But he decided that he needed to go see Bella Imperia to try to determine if there was any truth to what she had written in the note. So he goes to see her, but he gets stopped by Pedrangano and Lorenzo being Bella Imperia's brother, remember? And they tell him that she's like not taking visitors at this time, but they can pass along a message. And Hieronymo started to get a little suspicious. So as he was saying, like, no, that's okay, you don't need to leave a message, and Lorenzo's like, no, I'm happy to take a message. What is it that you need to say? Hieronymo is feeling Lorenzo out in little increments to see if he can glean anything about Lorenzo's mannerisms that might imply that he was responsible for Horatio's death. And by the time Hieronymo leaves, and it's Lorenzo and Pedrangano there, Lorenzo is convinced that Hieronymo knows, and he turns to Pedrangano and he was like, it was Cerberine, which is the name that I couldn't remember yesterday. He's like, it was Cerberine who did it, wasn't it? It was Cerberine who told him. And Pedrangano's like, no, he's been with me the whole time. Like, there was no way that he could have done it. I'm sure he's innocent. It wasn't him. And Lorenzo replies, admit he have not. His conditions such as fear or flattering words may make him false. I know his humor, and therewith repent that e'er I used him in this enterprise. But, Pedrangano, to prevent the worst, and 'cause I know thee secret as my soul, here, for thy further satisfaction, take thou this, and hearken to me. Thus it is devised. This night thou must, and prithee so resolve, meet Cerberine at St. Luigi's Park. Thou know'st 'tis here, hard by behind the house. There take thy stand, and see thou strike him sure, for die he must, if we do mean to live. So dun, 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 the plot thickens, and now they're going to kill Cerberine. So Cerberine came in and helped. I don't even he might have had like 2 lines in that scene or something like that. So not a major character, but he was there. He came in with Balthazar and Lorenzo and Pedrangano when they all came to kill Horatio. And now Lorenzo is convinced that he's the one that clued Hieronymo in to the fact that they killed Horatio, and he like writes him off. In the first bit of this monologue, he's like, I never should have used him. I knew what kind of guy he was. I never should have gotten him involved in this. But Pedrangano, what we need to do is kill him. And here's some money. We'll get him to St. Luigi's Park, and you're going to be there waiting for him, and you'll kill him, because if you don't, then we're all in serious trouble. And Pedrangano's like, okay, but how are we going to get him there? And Lorenzo's like, don't worry about it. I'll make sure that he's there. Go hide. It'll be 8 o'clock. We'll make sure that he's there. And then Lorenzo calls in one of his pages and is like, hey, would you tell Cerberine to meet me in this park at St. Luigi's Park, like tonight around like 8-ish? Make sure that he's there like by 8. And the page is like, sure, I'm on it. So now we have a setup for another murder. Lorenzo likes to stalk people in parks and kill them. It's a character trait, but yeah, he has one more monologue in this scene before this scene is over, and we'll see. I don't know if you're Team Lorenzo or Team Don Andrea in the background, Team Bella Imperia. Not sure whose team you're rooting for at this particular time, and we will see how Lorenzo's monologue tomorrow, whether or not that changes, whether or not you're rooting for Lorenzo. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.